How's it going, everybody? BurntBrian here, and welcome back to another Tall Can Tuesday. In this video series, I like to give you updates on my life and the future of the channel, answer random questions, talk about topics submitted by you, the fine viewers, and of course, drink some good beer. Now, it's been a while since I did a video, and today I've got a very special beer to share with you. This one was sent to me from my friend Benny up in Pennsylvania. So Benny, thank you so much for sponsoring this video with an awesome beer. He also sent me 3 other ones that I'm going to be releasing over the next couple weeks during probably one of my normal Thirsty Thursday beer reviews. But today is kind of a special video, so I want to go with a special beer because I'm not going to be putting out any other Tall Can Tuesdays for the next probably 3 or 4 weeks or so. I've got some things I'm trying to take care of in my life. But we'll get to that later in the video. For right now, let's take a look at this awesome beer. Now, this one comes from, I'm probably going to butcher this, from Neshaminy Creek Brewing Company, and it's called The Shape of Hops to Come. This is an Imperial IPA. Benny knows how much I love IPAs, so do you guys if you watch this channel enough. This one has 5 hops in it. We've got Apollo, Newport, Simcoe, Topaz, and Citra, and this beer comes in at 9.5%. This isn't my normal large beers like 25 ounce. We've just gone with a solid pint today, so it probably won't be a 30 to 50 minute video like they normally are, and I just have a couple topics to run through. But before we get to any of that, let's take a look at the pour. It's definitely a beautiful looking beer. It's got kind of your typical IPA color to it. I describe it all pretty much about the same every time. It's just got a nice golden color to it. It is slightly cloudy, so it's not completely filtered, but definitely a little bit of filtration has gone on. I just picked up these fancy spy glue glasses, however you say it. It was a collaboration deal between the owner of Dogfish Head Brewery, and I can't remember who the other one was, but really expensive for these glasses. But I gotta say, I do enjoy using them. They do kind of, I don't know, they say it's supposed to be the way the glass is made, that you can kind of get more of the aroma out of your beer, and I definitely have been enjoying these. They're actually kind of strong, break resistant, whatever. Anyway, oh yeah. That's definitely a really hoppy beer, but it's got a nice citrus punch coming through. It smells really good. I think this is going to be one I'm really going to enjoy. Alright, let's give it a taste. Oh yeah. Really tasty. Actually, kind of has a little bit of a dry finish to it, but for the most part it is a really sweet beer. I'm getting a lot of, not overly sweet, but I'm definitely picking up this wonderful tropical kind of flavor to this one. And again, as somebody who lives in a tropical state or part of the world, you know, I do enjoy these kind of fruitier IPAs. And for a Imperial at 9.5, you really don't get much of an alcohol blast at all. It's really smooth, easy drinking. Thank you, Benny. I sure appreciate it again. I don't have any questions or topics to share with you guys, so of course this video series would not be possible without you. I know I'm taking a break, but I'd like to have some things to talk about when I come back. So if you have any questions or topics you'd like to hear me talk about, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to get to them in the next Tall Can Tuesday video, whenever that happens to be. I guess before I jump into the few topics that I've randomly decided to go with today, I just kind of wanted to, you know, mention that, you know, the reason why I'm kind of taking some time off is I just kind of, I've reached a certain goal I'm not going to really talk about right now. We'll talk about it eventually, but something hit, and so now I'm trying to really focus. It hit home for me, so I'm trying to focus on improving my life a little bit, and that means I've got to cut out drinking for a little while just to sort of detox myself. So, you know, my birthday's in 30 days. I'm filming this on Sunday. It's going to be uploaded on Tuesday. But, you know, in August, it's, you know, going to be my birthday. And so 30 days from today, I'm going to, you know, maybe have a beer or so, celebratory beer video for you guys. But I really got to, you know, cut out a lot of the bullshit as far as my diet, as far as the things that I'm drinking. So I'm going to have some fun cooking videos that I've already come up with some ideas for. I've been, you know, jotting down all kinds of stuff so I can try to stray away from the fast food stuff for a little while and kind of get away from the beer stuff. But I do have some really fun ideas. One thing I was going to talk about, I mean, I can't tell you much about this because I just thought it's a really cool idea. I've looked through YouTube and really haven't found any videos about this, but I'll say that there's a really interesting cookbook out there that I'm going to get my hands on, And I thought I'd do just kind of a funny, it's not going to be anything serious, just going to be kind of a funny skit video. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But I do have a few serious videos cooking as well, as far as some healthy things that I'm going to be doing over the next 30 days and kind of overall in a life change as far as some of the recipes and things I'm trying to incorporate into my daily routine. But yeah, that's about it. I do have some things like, I don't know, I've got a few things I want to share with you guys that are coming up over sort of trending topics right now. If I can't find anything or I don't have anybody giving me any topics, I'm kind of looking around on the internet to try to find some trending things to talk about, things that are happening right now. Before we get to that, let me take another swig of this awesome IPA. First beer of the day, and I sure did pick a winner for this one. All right, let's dive into this. A couple things that I wanted to mention. There is a couple YouTube channels that, well, actually one in particular that my friend showed me last night that just had me rolling. I can't believe I had never seen them before, but you should check out Super Deluxe. It's a YouTube channel, and if you're at all a fan of like Tim and Eric's Awesome Show or that kind of style, it's almost like you've gone into the dark parts of YouTube when you come across this channel, but some of the shit is absolutely hilarious. Like we watched one with Kanye West on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and it's just like the way they chop and edit things together. It's so damn funny. Like they did a Ted Cruz one, just kind of showing you how weird the guy is. I never even really knew until I watched this Vine compilation of Ted Cruz stuff, and man, he is kind of a creepy dude, like really. And so anyway, they do a lot of really fun videos. And I've enjoyed a lot of what I've seen so far. Another channel that I want to mention is called Smarter Every Day. If you guys haven't seen that one, I think that we spend too much time, or at least I do, delving into a lot of uneducational bullshit and just for entertainment purposes. And one thing I really like and I find refreshing about Destin's channel is, he really, every one of his videos, you do feel smarter after watching. I mean, he really opens you up to some things you may not have ever heard of. Like recently he did a video where he got to tag along with someone who was undergoing, I think he was doing something for NASA maybe, but anyway, they did a test where, you see reasons why when you're in an airplane, these bags will fall down out of the ceiling to give you oxygen, because you're in a pressurized cabin, and when there's a loss of pressurization, loss of oxygen, basically they explain what happens to your brain. And it's kind of neat. They go through a whole series where he's got to put these objects through holes and say what the object is before he puts it in. And they show, okay, well, your brain, you're now been without oxygen for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And as it goes on, they warn him, you're starting to get to the dangerous point where you might die. But he becomes so incoherent that he really doesn't understand what's being said to him. So it's kind of neat to show you how important it is that you get oxygen to you if you're going to be in the air flying like that, or else you're just going to pass out. You put everybody in danger. And it's pretty awesome video. It's definitely worth checking out. Go and watch Smarter Every Day. You'll definitely enjoy their channel. As far as movies go, man, there is a lot of exciting stuff coming out that I'm looking forward to, especially, or just even television series. Some things have been recently released. And let's take another swig first. So one thing that just came out at Comic-Con, they released a trailer for the Justice League. I gotta agree with my friend Matt Zion from of course, Reckless Eating and Zion Mainframe Gaming. He had kind of said that, he's been talking about it for a while, like even when Batman and Superman came out, that DC has really gone kind of dark with their movies. It's very dark and kind of just an evil, like bad feel to the whole movie. And I don't know why DC's kind of gone with that. Marvel has still been very bright, kind of comic book movie, full of action, some adult stuff, but still a lot of kids stuff, things that everybody could relate to who have enjoyed the comic book series. And the DC ones just seem so, maybe because it's Batman, and you're going with that whole theme of Gotham City being a very dark and kind of dirty, mysterious city that he runs around fighting crime in. But it just seems interesting to me that, watching the trailer, it definitely looks interesting. I wish that they would have used the guy from the television version of Flash in the Justice League. Instead, they kind of have a young kid who seems pretty cool, and he definitely is going to make an interesting character. Obviously, the guy they picked for Seaman, or Seaman, whatever, he basically, I don't know, it almost seems like in the comic books, he was always the nerd that was sort of picked on. Like, it's kind of being a dorky superhero, like, oh, you could talk to fish, that's pretty impressive. Well, now they make him this jacked up Viking looking guy with a beard that's just super ripped and strong. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess, I mean, they definitely wanted to kill the image that Seaman was just a wuss. They wanted to make sure that people knew he was a big, bad, tough guy that's going to kick some ass and take names. But overall, I mean, I'm definitely excited. I just got noticed that they've released some other videos. I'm going to have to take a look at those today. Videos, individual looks at like Wonder Woman and some of the new characters that are going to be in that movie. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, they also just recently released a new Doctor Strange trailer. It's the second one. You know, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm big into all the comic book stuff, so I love seeing that all these things are coming out. Doctor Strange definitely looks interesting. It's kind of like, I don't know, like The Matrix meets Inception or something. It's kind of it looks like it's going to be a pretty awesome movie in general. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how how it all plays out. I mean, it's going to be like a big mind fuck to me, really. Let's see, what else do we got? Well, of course, Suicide Squad, that's coming out this coming weekend, I believe. I'm going to try to go and see it with my boss if possible, because I know he really wants to go see it. And, you know, we both enjoy watching movie trailers and seeing all these things, so I'm definitely looking forward to Suicide Squad. All of it looks pretty good. The character's amazing. The girl they picked for Harley Quinn is super hot, but still like manages to capture the crazy, psychotic attitudes that she would have in the comic book. Same thing with Jared Leto as the Joker. I think he's going to be interesting. I'm really curious to see how they, you know, how he goes. I mean, the trailers make him look pretty badass. Of course, all the other characters. Will Smith is Deadshot. It's going to be amazing. But another friend of mine, Scott Somerton, who does, he's got a YouTube channel on here, and he plays with us as well on the Zion Mainframe Gaming stuff. But he had kind of made an interesting point about how Will Smith had wanted to always play the villain in a movie and see where that is. Well, I mean, granted, he is playing an anti-hero in a sense in this movie, but he still becomes the good guy, like the leader of the bad guys, who's sort of a good guy from what I understand by the end of the movie. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I kind of would like to see him play an even more darker, more sinister role if he really wants to feel what it's like to be a villain, to go a little bit farther out, where by the end nobody really likes him, you know, kind of villain. That's how it should be if you really want to explore that side of movies. And Will Smith was very talented all around. I mean, I've been watching him, I've been listening to him since he played music with DJ Jazzy Jeff in the, you know, watched him on Fresh Prince and all that. I mean, Nightmare on My Street and Parents Just Don't Understand and all those different... I used to listen to that CD on repeat. And Summertime, all that. Summertime. Sorry. Okay, so also some other shows that are coming out on Netflix. You've got... they just released some previews for Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And these are a couple more Marvel characters. If you've been at all watching what Netflix has been doing, they've been doing a beautiful job at telling the story of Marvel characters. They started with Daredevil, did a really good job. First season was kind of slow and dragged on a little bit, but I can understand they're trying to develop the character and kind of show you what he was about. And the second season was outstanding with the Punisher coming in, and then I mean, just all around it was a phenomenal season. And Jessica Jones also was another series. I really didn't get into it too much. It just seemed like a whole lot of sex. At least, you know, they made a point of just having sex in every single episode, and then it's like, and there's gay sex and regular sex and then interracial sex, and it's like, well, why does it got to be just this giant? I mean, I guess Jessica Jones was a big slut beyond just being a psychic. I guess, I don't know, but it just kind of seemed like they focused on a lot of that stuff instead of more character development. Just my humble opinion on it. But now they've got Luke Cage, who was also a character in Jessica Jones. He's basically invincible, and the trailer looks pretty badass for him. As far as Iron Fist, they leave it very vague. You really don't know what's going on. They don't tell you really anything about him. It was very short, and nothing really too spectacular about his character. So I don't know if that's intentional or what, but I'm really looking forward to seeing more of what they do, because basically they're all going to be coming together sometime in 2017 on Netflix as well, of creating the Defenders, where all four of them are going to join together. Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, and they're going to basically fight crime in the city together. So that's going to be awesome. And it kind of sucks because we've all been waiting for Daredevil 3, Season 3 to come out for a while, and apparently it sounds like from the rumors it's not going to come out until after the Defenders series comes out in 2017, so it's going to be a little while before we get it, but I am really looking forward to seeing what they do in the third season with Daredevil. again, hats off to Netflix. They've been doing quality work that's right up there with HBO, AMC, as far as great television, great programming goes. I mean, the show that they have, the Stranger Things, absolutely amazing. I'm hooked on it. I'm only on like the 4th episode, but I'm probably going to binge watch that tonight. Such a good show. Highly recommend you check it out if you haven't. It's sort of like, I don't know, it's got qualities of E.T., but it's like the Goonies meets the X-Files. It's a really awesome show. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one as well. Cheers. Really, really tasty beer. As it warms up, that bitterness comes out a whole lot more. Kind of like, I don't know. This is just an absolutely outstanding IPA, and this is something that I can't get in my area. So again, I really appreciate Benny taking the time to send this out to me. Most of the ones he's sent me, I just can't ever get in my area. So this is really awesome. Thank you so much. One thing I'm looking forward to as far as games go, because I probably haven't mentioned it before, but basically in 2 weeks, I'm buying a new computer. It's nothing top of the line. It's not going to blow anybody away with the specs, but it's really awesome for me. It's going to be a big improvement as far as my gaming goes, so I'll be able to do some more gaming videos, and I'm going to be back on playing with the Zion Mainframe Gaming crew, because I love playing with those guys. Now I'll be able to handle all that stuff at a much better quality graphics resolution. And then my old computer is just going to be basically used for nothing but video editing, so I'll be able to, get rid of all of the gaming stuff I have on it now, free up a whole lot of space, and it'll just be a dedicated machine to being both a server for some private content that we're going to be working on with a friend of mine, and as well as just for straight editing. So that's going to be awesome. But anyway, the game that I'm really looking forward to is from South Park Studios. South Park in general, I have loved their show since I was young, and then they came out with The Stick of Truth. It was an absolutely hilarious game. If you were a fan of the television show and you played the game, it's just, you felt like you were living or playing through a long episode or a movie of the South Park series. It was so great. They had all these hidden references and things that went back to previous characters and things that happened all the way up from the beginning of the series till current. And it was just such a neat experience. And, again, hilarious. Where else can you play a game where you're fighting an underwear gnome on your parents' bed, miniaturized, shrunk down, and you have to dodge your dad's ball sack as he's having sex with your mother, and you're fighting this thing, and you have to dodge the sack flying at you. It was so damn funny, and there's so much more than that. But if you haven't played it and you're a fan of South Park, you've got to check it out if you have a computer. I think it's also on consoles as well, like the 360 and the PS3, PS4, all that stuff. But now they've got a new one that's coming out, and it's called The Fractured But Whole. So, The Fractured But Whole. And you put it together, they wanted to say The Fractured Butthole. Or they wanted to have something with just the butthole in the title, and apparently the executives or the gaming industry, they were basically advised that they couldn't put the word butthole in the title and right on the cover because distributors would not put that on the shelves to sell to kids and to sell in general. So apparently, like Trey and Matt, they sat there and they just kept thinking over and over again, okay, how can we do this butthole, 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 butthole? And so they came up with this fractured butthole kind of thing. So it's absolutely hilarious. I love the whole premise of it, and it's kind of going to be a new twist on RPG games, which is role-playing games, where it kind of takes right off from where you left off at the Stick of Truth, but you have to start all the way over again as a new character, a new person. You're still the same kid that you were, but Cartman, all the other kids don't want to play with you anymore as that, so you have to start over and become your own superhero, which is pretty badass. It's going to be just epically hilarious, I'm sure. Knowing anything that comes from them, it's going to be great. I can't wait. That's going to be one of the first games I get, besides Doom, because I still haven't played Doom, and I'm an old school gamer. I started playing on the very first computers when they were out. I mean, I've started obviously with Ataris way back in the day, but had everything up, including the original 286 computers, and then we had 386 processors, 486, and, Pentiums, and things just went on and on and on as they evolved. But the very beginning of computers, when we played Wolfenstein and the original Doom and Descent and Rise of the Triad, all of those original games. So I'm really curious to see. I've heard so many good things about the Doom game that they recently released, so I've got to get my hands on that one and give it a try as well. But anyway, that's all I got on that one. One more quick swig. Last but not least, for all of you guys that are fighter fans out there, I don't know if you watched the last fight, the UFC MMA fight, I think it was the UFC 200, and so you had Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt. So the two of those guys faced each other, and obviously they were the highlight. There was also another big major fight between Holly Holm and Valentina Shevchenko, and you know, it was pretty awesome all around. Great fighting went on. So you have Lesnar, who won the fight. I mean, it was really his tackling, his bringing Hunt to the ground and really beating him that ended up winning. It was his grappling. You know, Hunt had some great strikes on Lesnar. There was a few punches that were landed really well, but again, he just kind of kept throwing the same thing over and over. Lesnar kind of got a hold of the timing of what was going on and managed to just keep bringing him down to the ground at the end. Ended up winning the fight. Of course, there was a lot of controversy about that because apparently Lesnar had failed 2 drug tests for this fight. And, you know, he's now not being fined. As far as I know, as last of 2 hours ago, the recent update I saw, he is not going to be, not going to be fined by the UFC for doping. And to me, that kind of sets a really bad precedent because, I mean, look, I love Lesnar. I've always enjoyed him as a wrestler and a fighter, and I was really looking forward to him coming back. He is 38 years old, so I guess, I mean, it's understandable. There's no way, but then again, he's fighting somebody that was like 40 or 42, someone that's older than him. So, but I mean, I just really don't like the use of these steroids or whatever it is, and just performance enhancement drugs in any of these categories. It just doesn't seem right, and who knows what's going to happen. I guess now the UFC has decided to leave it into the hands of the state sanction department to decide what the penalty is going to be. But he did make like $2.4 million for his fight against Hunt, which is pretty incredible. So it's not going to be touched at all by the UFC. We'll just see what kind of fines the state actually imposes on him. And he should get fined if you're going to use drugs to fight somebody. I mean, how is that a fucking fair fight in any way, shape, or form? It's not right to me. As far as the other fight with Holly Holm and Shevchenko, it was a really good fight. I mean, at first it seemed in the first round like Holly was doing okay. It seemed like she maybe got some good punches in there, and it seemed like she had the round. But after that, quickly Shevchenko got the upper hand in the next couple rounds. Really got her timing down. Was doing spin kicks, punches, backhands. Was doing all kinds of really great moves, and by the end of it, she was on top of Holmes, just beating the shit out of her, just really beating the hell out of her, and she ended up winning to take the title away. So for the women's, it's the title's been handed around quite a bit. It went from Rousey to Holmes to now Shevchenko. So it's real interesting to see what's going to go on in the next fight as far as the women's league goes. As far as the men go, I guess Lesnar's set to fight somebody maybe here in the near future. I'm not sure when, but. Again, I just don't think it's fair that he's got to pass these drug tests. It's just not right. But that's just my 2 cents on that. Maybe you guys have some opinions of your own. I'm not a big sports guy, but I do kind of watch a little bit of the fighting stuff because I'm more of a boxer. I really enjoy the boxing over UFC. And when I was a UFC fan, I was watching it when it first started, back when it was Royce Gracie versus Ken Shamrock. I mean, when you had real pit fighters versus sumo wrestlers. Now everybody does the same thing in UFC. It's all striking and ground and pound, and there's really no distinct style. You don't really see too much distinctly of Muay Thai versus something else. Or, in Brazilian, it just kind of shows, though, how powerful Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is, and what Royce Gracie and his family did for martial arts, because really Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with its strikes and with its ability to put people in locks and positions to make them tap out, it is really a powerful fighting technique that seems to be a lot of defensive tactics versus a lot of offensive. It's I don't know, at least it always seems that way to me. It does have its offensive moments, but a lot of times it's kind of playing on your opponent's mistakes and stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Let this video run on longer than I want, but I just figured I'd kind of enjoy this beer, talk with y'all a little again. It's going to be a while since I put out, till I put out another one of these videos. I do think next week I will probably release the Tall Can Tuesday video that I filmed. It's going to be irrelevant to what's going on because I let it go for almost a month now and I haven't uploaded it yet. So I mean, everything I talked about is not going to be relevant as far as the shootings in Louisiana, probably. I can't remember what else I talked about. But I talked about a lot of things that were currently going on, trending events. And but I do want to share it because a friend had sent me that beer as well. So I want to get that video up. But I am looking forward to taking a break from everything for a little while to get my head straight and, try to hopefully get a little bit healthier. But anyway, I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And as always, stay toasty, my friends. This one's for all of you. And we'll see you in the next video.